Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Tuesday, April 29th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. This is a significant zone of resistance, as I've been saying. We opened, I think, about a dime, maybe 20 cents above that 288.64 formation on Monday morning, only to come falling back. You can act. I saw some comments on the YouTube commentary, frustration with having gone long right out of the gates. Only to take a loss on the day. You can act on the intraday levels. I probably don't say it enough, but I do say it from time to time that the more reliable signals, this is a settlement-based system. And so it would be a settlement, a close above 288.64 that would set off follow-through buying. Until then, you're kind of at the whim of the day, if you will. Now, there is certainly times where the market would open above 288.64, and by the way, it opened just above it. You can see, you can't see the opening bar because it is so close to the 288.64 channel top that it is essentially an open at, if you will. But there are scenarios, many of them, where we open comfortably above 288.64, and within the day, the market just screams up to 319.02. Bottom line, though, it is a settlement, as I've been saying, above 288.64 that sets up that 378.10 longer-term descending two-thirds speed line as a 3 to 5 week objective. We're not there yet. We did fall away, and it really is 287.03 to 288.64 that is our ceiling of resistance. And until we close above 288.64, I'm still anticipating the market to fall back over the next 2 to 3 weeks to channel support at 216.40, and over the next 1 to 2 months, possibly 3 to 5 weeks, into the lower 160s to mid 150s. The 156.77 to 162.87 area is a 5-year channel structure that is actually in reach over the next month or two, holding below 288.64. It is about as simple as that. Let's talk downside today. This is the pullback high so far, following that early April low. I'm talking Monday's high. And so Monday's low of 272.42 does have pivot point qualities. If we break 272.42, 254.56 wouldn't surprise me within the day. And it would surprise me if we fell further south than that. But I think 254.56 is in reach today if we break or open below 272.42. 254.56 is a 50% downside retracement over the last roughly month of activity from the early April low against yesterday's high. 254.56 able to contain daily lows. But if we close below 254.56, which is highly unlikely today, but if we did, 238.85 then likely tomorrow. And by the end of next week, following a settlement below 254.56, we should test 216.40. And this is a new channel bottom, well suited to contain weekly lows. From there, we can round up into the 280s again within a matter of 2 to 3 weeks. If there's a well-defined 2 to 3 week time frame, I still see it as like this congestive two-sided framework, these upward and downward rotations, upward rotations. We are now prone to a downward rotation to 216.40 over the next 2 to 3 weeks, so long as we do not close above 288.64. So maintaining a short position, 2 to 3 week swing traders down to 216.40 is the name of the game, so long as we don't close above 288.64. And on the way down, if we break 272.42 today, 254.56 in reach where a daily low can be placed. Closing below 254.56, I think you can anticipate the 216.40 within probably 3 to 5 days by the end of next week at the latest, able to contain weekly selling pressures. This is an area to take profits if you're short from the 280s. This is also an area you could consider going long on a 2 to 3 week basis only. Keep in mind that holding below the upper 280s, I see the lower 160s as likely over the next month or two. And if over the next week or two we close below 216.40, there's just another week or two to go before we actually reach that objective in the 162.87 down to 156.77 region. This is a 5-year channel bottom that can absorb selling on an annual basis. And from there, we can turn higher. And so the mid 150s, low 160s, solid long-term support for Tesla. Now for the upside, pushing or opening perhaps above 288.64. And now what is the criteria? These tend to be, there's no hard and fast rule here, so it's difficult. This is where your trade execution style, your rules of engagement, if you will, come into play. But I will say pushing or opening above 288.64, there's the very real possibility of reaching 319.02 by the closing bell. Now, that would be a significant rally today. The likelier outcome is we push up to one of these minor points, 299.29, 303, 94, what have you. It would, though, be a settlement above 288.64 that would signal 319.02. Let's just call it within 2 to 3 days. It could be within a single day, but 2 to 3 days. So if we close Tuesday above 288.64, by Friday's close, 319.02 is likely. But under that scenario of closing above 288.64, as I mentioned before, we have a 3 to 5 week buy signal. At the end of today, if we close above 288.64, the 378.10, a descending 2/3 speed line, able to contain buying on a monthly basis, possibly into the third quarter, we can fall away from here. It would be a significant buy signal into later year, or at least into the third quarter, if we were then to also close above 378.10. But I don't see a real strong case for that just yet. I'd want to take it in steps, and this is a 3 to 5 week step up to 378.10 if we close above 288.64. Until then, the only position to be had right now is a short position. I'm not trying to talk the market into this sort of bearish framework. And the truth is, it's in a consolidated framework, a two-sided framework that is defined in part by the top of this channel at 288.64. And unless we can close above it, just know that the market is very susceptible to falling back over the next few weeks to the 216.40 channel bottom, and that is what's in play. And of course, inversely, if we close above 288.64 over the next 3 to 5 weeks, we rally into the upper 370s, which is dropping daily. I do want to mention that on Monday we put out a stock pick, wickedstocks.com, on DoorDash. You might want to check that out. There's a nice play here, a solid move that may elicit this week. We give you very specific price points that if settled above, and we are right there, very close to setting off a meaningful buy signal that we're expecting to yield at least 20% move to the upside on the DoorDash stock itself. Last week was Robinhood, Broadcom. You could still see all of that for free by going to wickedstocks.com and taking advantage of our 5-day free trial, where you'll see the DoorDash stock pick that was put out this week, last week's Robinhood and Broadcom. We've got another one coming out on Thursday. You'll see it all, and the daily Triple Q, the daily SPY, the weekly Apple stock analysis, all of it for the next 5 days. I think that pretty much summarizes it. I'm going to leave it at that for Tuesday's Tesla report. You have a great day.